the child in exchange for paying Antonio money. Prosecutors said Maya blindfolded and suffocated the 12-year-old in the back of a van before she escaped to a nearby home in 2024. Southwest Airlines is adding new flight destinations from Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Non-stop service from Milwaukee to San Diego will begin October 2nd, and 2 daily flights to Chicago's Midway Airport will start in March next year. The airline is also expanding its non-stop service to Austin, Texas, and adding new spring break flights to Miami. These are changes following Southwest's recent decision to roll back several popular perks like the free checked bags and the ability to pick your own seat, and a downturn in overall travel for Milwaukee Mitchell. Milwaukee's airport served about 280,000 fewer passengers through the first half of 2025 than the same period last year. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know what today is, right? It's Pop-Off Friday, and I'll just pop the whole time. Like, I thought about doing it just in my opening, and I went, you know what, it's Friday. You may as well go for it all, right? So, yep. I think I may as well just go for it all. So, I was doing some thinking, which in and of itself is scary all by itself. And one of the things I came across was how Milwaukee used to be, how it used to look, how the community was vibrant. And I took some notes to tell myself what those things were. I remember even coming here and moving here in 1993, May of 1993 to be exact. And I started looking at how the city was. It was pretty vibrant. Some of the places, I don't know, back in the day in the 80s where people hung out, but usually it was 3rd Street, 3rd and Center, 12th, Titonia, you know, some of the clubs, some of the bars, jazz clubs. There was even a place where you could go eat, and it was like an upscale black place. I remember it was called the Onyx.
had great food, pricey as all get out. Didn't mind paying for it because I got the quality and the service that I wanted. Barbershops, corner stores, where, watch this, you didn't have bars over the doors and the windows. And you could go to church on Sunday and just walk to church. You didn't have any issues. People didn't break into your cars. People, shook your hand. People still get upset when I don't want to shake their hand and get my fist bumped. Like, shook my hand. Or they'll grab my fist and I'll move my fist away. Like, if I wanted to touch you, I would touch you. Like, why is it you don't respect someone else? But that's what we've become. Late 1980s through 2000 or so, drugs came in, destroyed everything. The Milwaukee community that had raised doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs and hardworking people in the foundries and factories and made good jobs at Harley and all those places turned into addiction, unemployment, and what we have today, violence. Theaters, if you heard Kyle Wallace's promo and stuff he talked about, how he became a man in Milwaukee and went to the theater on North 76th Street. I used to go to that movie theater when I first moved here. Watching black people on TV, black people in theater, that made you hope that you could do what they do one day. But it seems when everything is hard and when everything is bad, it chews through the black community first. All of our stories, all of our pride, all of our dignity starts to wane. And I think that's the trick. When you look around Milwaukee, a lot of people in suburbs say, well, it's not worth saving. Because we have this thought that anything that decays isn't really worth saving. If you got diabetes, a foot, if you got a cavity, a tooth, it's not worth, it's decaying. Why save it? Why create murals so that kids can look up and see, and when you ask somebody, do they know who Crispus Attucks is, they look at you like you're crazy. But it's funny. A lot of people believe in Milwaukee there's nothing worth saving. Some people think that if you just keep talking positive things will happen. And yet they never do anything. So how do you erase that? What's the one thing you have to be clear about that you can't control? What's the one thing that gnaws through a community and people that leave scars? It tears down buildings. It turns grass to dirt. It even erases your memory, takes your resilience, even breaks you. What do we do with that? Like, what is that? What's the one most powerful thing that can destroy a man or a woman and they won't even notice? They'll look around and things will change. They'll look around and people aren't there. They'll look around and jobs disappear. And life starts to fade. What's the one thing in life that has sharp teeth and destroys everything? And no matter how hard you fight, no matter how you avoid it. And if you don't move, it'll actually pass you by. Simmons had it right. He figured it out centuries ago. The one thing we're all born with, and the one thing we waste without thinking: time.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Your expression on your face, that's got to me. And the man wasn't lying.
What you mean the expression on my face? How can you see my face? You listening to me on the radio, man.
No, I'm watching you on YouTube, too.
Oh, all right, then. You're an old man, and you know about YouTube. How old are you, Adam? You about 85.
83.
I'll be dipped. How blessed are we to have you?
Watch all your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows by subscribing to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
If better sleep has been hard to come by, you're not alone, and the right mattress can make all the difference. That's why Helix Sleep and Steinhafels have teamed up to bring their award-winning mattresses to Steinhafels. Now you can try Helix in person, something you can't do just anywhere. Right now, Steinhafels is offering 20% off all Helix mattress orders just for our listeners. Head to steinhafels.com to learn more. Helix Sleep at Steinhafels. Better sleep starts now.
For over 10 years, Crash Course has helped new drivers thrive, proudly serving Southeast Wisconsin with integrity, innovation, and a commitment to safety. They offer programs for both teens and adults led by state-licensed, safety-focused instructors. With flexible school-based pickup in communities across Southeast Wisconsin, Crash Course makes getting started simple and stress-free. Crash Course, the best choice driving school, trusted by thousands. Visit crashcoursewi.com to enroll today.
Maya is always on the move, and so is her money. Buy this here, deposit that there. She and her money are a lot to keep track of. Good thing Maya banks with Landmark Credit Union and uses their amazing mobile app. Maya checks her balance, deposits checks, pays bills, even transfers money between friends. So while Maya is coming and going, she can see her funds coming, going, and, best of all, growing. Landmark Credit Union. Banking made easy. Insured by NCUA.
We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at makingstrideswalk.milwaukeewi.org.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin when you want long-lasting comfort and reliability. It's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically, I can never say that word. I say specifically instead of specifically. Constructed for you. I'll start over. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation, rigorously tested for quality and performance to last for years, and built to create long-term energy savings. And if you order by August 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com, PellaWI.com. We got a full weekend coming up this weekend. It's Pop Out Friday! And I'm wired. It's weird, because when I come in, I'm so hyped to talk and do that, I get overheated and I got to take my jacket off. And then by the time I'm done, I'm freezing. Then I put my jacket back on. And then halfway through, I take my jacket off. And then it get cold, and I put my jacket. It's just one of those things. I don't know if you ever worked anywhere with media or radio and TV. I remember meeting people when they first started working here, and I told them, hey, make sure you wear long sleeves or bring a jacket. It's hot outside. It's 85 degrees. I said, okay. They would come in. They're sitting here rubbing. Now people just bring blankets to work. You know, I bring a blanket to wrap myself. Yeah, it's cold. It's always cold. When it's cold outside, it's cold. So if you can imagine it's this cold in a studio and it's sucking in hot air, you know how it feels in here in the wintertime? I have frost coming off my mustache, and I don't even have a mustache. That's how bad it is. But if you really want to be warm, if you really want to have a good weekend, join us for our 3rd annual Truth Family Fest tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm going to actually be there. Riverside University High School. Admission is absolutely, positively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, free. And you get to have some fun with Truth Nation, with Truth fans, and me. I'll be there. Like, everybody's like, well, you're going to be there? I'm not going. Anyway, bring your family and friends. There's always amazing food and good music and opportunity to win some big prizes, including backpacks for kids. No, teens are not kids. Teens are teens. We said kids, like probably 11, 12, and under. Okay? All right? So don't be walking on your knees trying to pretend like you're a kid so you can get a backpack. So make sure you save the date for our 3rd annual Truth Family Fest tomorrow, Saturday, August 23rd, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School. Truth Family Fest is presented by Crash Course Driver Education Center. So some of y'all need to go get y'all driver's license. I met a 16-year-old the other day. He said, I'm going to get my permit next week. I was like, oh, yeah. Let me know when you get it. He said, why? I said, because then I won't drive. I'll make sure. Tell me where you live. Tell me what time you go to school. All right? But if that don't work, you can always see our other presenting sponsor, U.S. Cellular. So you can call somebody. Call his mama. Say, hey, he's driving kind of. And I told him, have you gone and taken a driver education course? He said, no. I actually told him, Crash Course Driver Education Center can do it for you. It's also sponsored by Milwaukee Area Technical College, Landmark Credit Union, U.S. Bank, Milwaukee Public Schools, Gruber Law Offices, Big Frog, Educators Credit Union, and Riverside University High School. I want to say big ups to MPS. They've been doing some great things recently. They've been coming through and getting the lead taken care of and getting the payments, getting their payments from the state and taking care of everything. And I think they've been doing a good job. Got to give it to them. Have to give it to them. They have been doing an absolutely marvelous job. Let me check this talking text line because I know y'all be screaming, hollering. Hey, what's up, SE? Let me see. SE and Dimitri made it on time. And Laron said time is undefeated. Dimitri, Dr. Ken, how you doing? I'm doing good because it's Pop-Off Friday. Let's get into. So I got some things that's on my mind that been bothering me all week long. So I got a question. 833-212-1017. I want to hear from you. How do you know? Well, let me start by this. I've had people say things to me, and I don't think they understood exactly what it was they were saying. Right now, people get so upset and mad because of, sexual assault and sexual harassment. And then you go back and you say, well, what did they say? Well, they said such and such. And you're like, huh? How'd you take that? Well, the person thought they were. I said, but the person has to tell them not to say that. Is it because they thought they were harassing them sexually, or they just didn't like what they said? And so many times we forget that meaning between two people can be different. And so you got to ask, so what exactly are you trying to say? Can you explain that? That would be the adult, intelligent thing to do. But what about racism? How do you know if someone says or does something and you go, oh, that's racist? I've been in groups where they heard somebody say something and the first thing somebody said, oh, that's racist. And I'm like, and I always, right, I deconstruct, reconstruct to make sure I got it. Do I understand this? And many times people miss the point or call me, you're a Republican. People tease that, before it's liberal in the morning and then at 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, it's Republican. Well, no, it's not. Tori and I just happen to see the world from a different lens. I see it from the middle. I'm not going to speak for Tori, but I see it from the middle. I want to know if what you're saying, do you believe that? If you believe it, it's okay. I get it. But are you saying it just because everybody else says it? Are you voting because everybody else votes that way? And you have all these things in your mind and it's been ingrained that this is terrible and it's this? But just like I say, you go through all this trouble, you go through all this riffraff, and then when Republicans are in office, you got nobody to speak for you. And the first thing out of the group mouth is, it's racist. How do you know? How do you know if you see somebody in a group of black kids in a video are acting a fool and fighting, and somebody white says, well, that's stupid, they shouldn't do that. Oh my God, that's racist. Because a white person said it? Because a black person was thinking it? And most black people say it. You can't get mad at somebody for telling the truth. Or is it? How do you know someone else is racist? How do you know their heart? Yeah, your mind can fail you. Your mind, and when I say your mind can fail you, your mind and your feelings can make you say and do things off the cuff. Now, granted, usually they say what they actually mean. But it's usually what's called an ad hominem attack. Oh, you stupid. But that doesn't, explain to me what it is I said that was wrong or is bad or is, you just said it's stupid. So the other day when Earl said, you're a Republican, it was as if that was the worst thing you could ever call a black person. And then I'm going to insult you and demean your character and your reputation by tagging you with something that most black people don't want to be tagged with, and that's Republican. I took it as an insult. Regardless of how I handled the call, it was an insult. It was a direct insult to me, of trashing me. Unfortunately, I'm kind of used to it. Whenever you question what somebody else says and you don't back it 110%, they call you something opposite. But what about racism? How do you know? How do you know? So then even when I said, I'm not a Republican, tell me why you think that. That's what I want to know. Because I won't stand for some of the things that black people do. I don't care when other people do it. I call out black people when they're racist. This nonsense of saying black people can't be racist makes no sense to me. Black people can't be racist because they don't have the power. Huh? Look up the definition of racism. And it's funny because now everything has changed to match what people think. So somebody said, yeah, it's in the dictionary now. So we have who wrote that? Who decided, what committee decided that this is what it means? And that only white people or somebody that's not a minority can be racist. That's ridiculous. Until our feelings get into it. And then we put on other people what we ourselves feel. Oh my God, if I was you, I would be saying that, and that means that I'm racist, therefore you're racist. Huh? Doesn't make any sense. Give me a call and tell me what you think. 833-212-1017 is the number. How does that sound racist? I don't know. Makes no sense. Wayne said, Dr. Ken, you definitely speak down the middle, but it's the upper middle. I don't know what that means. Like upper class? Upper bougie? Bougie black? I admit that. Fawn said, I see it down the middle too, trying to be logical and not emotional. Also, I try and put myself in the other people's shoes. Also, I believe in the golden rule. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. I don't believe in the golden rule. You know why? I have to care. If you act a fool, I'm not acting a fool with you. You trash me, I'm not going to trash you. I'm going to let it go because I got other stuff I got to do. I'm letting you take up real estate in my brain. Ain't going to happen. But I get what you're saying. He went on to add, I think we should have 5 political parties: far right, moderate, middle, moderate left, and far left. That's crazy. We would never get anything done in this. We would never get anything done in this country. Now, here's what I think. This is what I'm saying. I think we should run it like they run Parliament. Everybody gets elected based on who their constituents say gets to go. And then when you're there, you take a week or so or 3 days and y'all figure out what party's going to be in charge. And sometime the party might have 1 extra vote. And sometime the party might have 500 extra votes. Well, no, it's only 535 people in House of Representatives. Right? 217? I think you need 217 or 218. I think that's what we need to do. And you go and you sit down and you talk to people and say, I'm going to lead this party. This is my platform. And this is what we're going to do. Sometimes it's liberals. Sometimes it's conservatives. Sometimes it's socialists. Sometimes it's Buddhists. I'm just making it up. It could be, I didn't mean to offend Buddhists, but it can be anything. But that's what we do. And then next time we vote again, it flips. That's just me. That way we don't have to go back and forth and argue and all that. Meanwhile, Milwaukee is still a dump. And it's one of the most beautiful cities I've been to. And I've been to a lot of beautiful cities. It's been one of the most beautiful cities I've seen. And then something happened. I don't know what that is. Daniel said, it is a strictly emotional versus logical battle, Dr. Ken. I don't think it will ever end. And that's unfortunate. But that's black folks. Nah. See, I disagree with the last 4 words. But that's black folks. That's everybody. That's everybody. 833-212-1017 is the number. Charles, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
I'm good.
I want to say I listen to your show quite often, and I definitely don't agree with everything that you say, but I would never identify a person as Democrat, Republican because of your views, unless that's what you say you are.
Right.
Because regardless of what you think, to be part of a political party, you have to choose to be part of it.
Correct.
And very rarely is all your views go in line with their platform. More black people do need to be Republican. Because when you start to become part of the party and then you become involved, the Republicans might start picking up more of your views if they feel like that's going to help them to get elected.
That is true. But you get trashed if you even say something like that.
I identify with a lot of Republican principles. The reason I probably am not a Republican is because there's a lot of things that Republicans do that's not necessarily part of their organized platform that I don't identify with.
Right.
I don't identify with excluding people based on whatever they race, anything that's a superficial way of identifying a person.
But does a person have a right to exclude somebody if that's what they choose to?
Well, now there's a difference between having a preference or denying somebody an opportunity.
No, I got that part. That part, federal law has, quote unquote, taken care of, right? We got the Civil Rights Act, we got amendments, we got all that. So that's in place. But what if I say, I just don't like Charles? Like, I don't like Charles, and I don't like Charles because he's black, and I don't like Charles because he's black and he lives in Milwaukee. Is it okay for somebody to say that?
it is okay for them to say that and to think that. But if they are in a position of power or authority or public access, they should not let their viewpoint stop them from doing what is right and what is legal.
I totally agree.
And I do want to also add one point you said about racism. You are correct. Black people can be racist. Any race of people can be racist. There is a new definition of racism that requires the person to be in power, and then you just shifting the word to being prejudiced. But it does make a difference that even if black people feel a certain way, it is going to be rare that their feeling is going to deny a person of a different race an opportunity. There's, regardless of how black people feel about you, it's probably not going to stop you from getting a job, stop you from moving to a certain neighborhood, stop you from getting economic access. So they may feel a certain way, but they do not have enough institutional power for that to make a tangible difference in your life.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I've seen it. I've seen where black people have done things and stopped a white person from getting something and doing something because they were white.
Okay, I have not seen that in particular.
Okay.
But I'm not saying it's not possible. I can't say that.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. Well, thank you, Charles. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, you have a blessed day and continue your good work.
All right, thank you much. 833-212-1017 is the number. At Great Impression Graphics and Printing, they have been proudly serving the community for over 26 years with their location right there at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Sherman Park in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design, and they offer a wide variety of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, postcards, you name it. They can make it. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing. Perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and much, much more. For your next project, visit them at greatimpress.com. That is greatimpress.com. Great Impressions, we are here when you need us. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Still dealing with an accident on 894 southbound at about Beloit Road. So heads up with that. Delays heading past that point all the way down into the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound. On 94 eastbound, we got some backups from about Highway 16 all the way past Barker Road to Brookfield Road. On the brakes again from 92nd Street through the Stadium interchange. And the westbound side is backing up from 27th Street pretty much to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41, a very heavy ride from just north of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side slowing down north of Watertown Plank Road towards Hampton. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, slight chance for a shower or isolated thunderstorm, mostly cloudy, a low of 66. Tomorrow, slight chance for showers early in the morning, then mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 78. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? We all know it happened, and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis. And he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. That's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and,
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit Versity.
Lead at 4-1. The crew becomes the first team to hit 80 wins, sitting atop the MLB at 80-48. The crew also sits atop the NL Central ahead of the Cubs by 7 games. Their next series against the Giants begins tonight at 7:10. The Packers are gearing up for their final preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks at Lambeau. That game takes place on Saturday at 3 p.m. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Pop Off Friday. What you got to pop off about? We've been talking about racism and whether or not, how do you know when somebody's being racist or not? When they say something, when they do something? Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How do you know?
Oh, when they say something ignorant and do the exact opposite. Like,
well, what
for
makes
example,
it ignorant?
they say, well,
give me a good example.
I'll tell you, an example would make, when you hear some of our own people say, well, we don't want the migrants in our neighborhood because they tear the neighborhood down, but yet that paper bag with the chicken bones didn't come from them. Or you see them outside using bleach and pine saw in their garbage can, but somebody else who looks just like you putting a whole bottle of beans in there, there's stuff like that. And when you look at your neighborhood and they say, well, we don't want them in it because they work together, when there's 10 people who look like you with welfare checks and SSI checks and they still got disconnection notices, it's ignorance. I think personally, some people like the other party because they're loud and they're white. Because if somebody who looked like me or you spoke just like that, they will call you every N-word in the book and they will fall back. Because, see, in some people's eyes, white is white. But they fail to realize the power that they have within them is too much responsibility for them to hold the torch. Because to hold the torch requires responsibility and standards. And for some people who look like us, they don't want to do it. So they use that turning the other cheek and say, well, you should align with them. Prime example, they say, well, I'm against abortion. Well, first of all, you can't pick and choose what a woman do with her body. Now, I don't care what you do with your body.
Time out.
Your body.
You can say what you don't like. You may disagree, but they can say that if they want to.
Exactly, but do that with your kids. But you can't tell a woman what she can't do because you don't have a uterus.
Person's freedom of speech because you don't like it or you don't agree with what they agree with. And it sounds like that's what. Well, but it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Well, maybe. Well, then like this then. Well, instead of saying what you don't agree with, then say, well, if you are against abortion, why you're not against the people who look like you who's not raising their kids?
Well, who
but
are you
everybody
to,
fall
but
back
who are
and
you
say,
to
well,
tell
that's
somebody
government.
that? But who are you to tell somebody that? They can believe what they want to believe, just like you.
Exactly. So if they can push it, I can push it.
Exactly. Okay.
That's all.
Long as everybody got the same. Okay.
Exactly. So since they say, well, I'm against abortion. Okay, well, fine, but that's not your choice because it's not your body. You know what I mean?
One has nothing to do with the other.
Your body.
One has nothing to do with the other.
Hey.
What somebody says about something that somebody does and what somebody else does are not together. They're not connected. You can just have your thought about it, and they can do what they want to do, and there's nothing either one of them can do. So I don't know why you're connecting those two.
And then the thing is, and then we don't look at the real fact with abortion. The only reason they mad against abortion because don't nobody want to breed their seed. Point blank, period. That's a personal problem. That's not our problem.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Well, it's the truth.
No, it's
that's
not.
what they
it's your
ask their
truth.
women that.
And that's why not everybody is true. You are making that up.
Well, ask their women that.
Makes absolutely no sense.
You can ask. Their women have came out and said, I don't want a white man's baby.
You can say
and
what
they
you
say
want
it all
to
the
say,
time.
but I get to say it doesn't make any sense.
Fault. That's their fault. That's their fault.
That don't make no
but
sense.
What they should be asking, asking is, since they're against abortion, why your mama didn't abort you? Why, matter of fact, if you're against abortion and women's rights, why your daddy didn't raise you?
All right.
There you go.
That don't make no sense. Bye. That made absolutely, positively no sense. He went down a abortion rabbit hole. Like, in the end, anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. He went down a rabbit hole. Anyway, talking text line. Wow. Thanks, Sir Chance. I appreciate that. Dan said, but the emotional thought process is trauma. No, it's not. No. I think we all go through an emotional thought process when we do everything. We just may not show it, or we may not step up, but I think everybody does that. People have a right to feel about a group and people the way they want. Yep, that's our God-given right. Absolutely right. Dan said he was on to something, Dr. Ken. Was that Charles his name? Yes, it was. Black folk are racist towards whites out of and in display of emotion. The white on black is the systemic institutional idea. There's no systemic institutional nothing. That's your heart. That's your heart and your mind, and you grouped together and did it. We keep blaming systems like we could change a system and it's going to change a person's heart. You can find, as they have, you can find racism and how to do racist things within a system that is completely and totally for someone else, because it'll just switch from race to class, from class to education level. Me taking advantage of you, if I can keep you stuck on race, I'll take advantage of you financially, in health care, in housing, in education, and you'll miss it. And you'll still wonder why you didn't make it, and you'll think it's racism. But racism takes many forms. It externalizes in different ways. So I understand what you're saying, Daniel. He added the levels of the vast complexities as well. Keep preaching. I get it. He added, but until we let down walls and get out of emotional thought processes and really get to unite with people, your own and others, in real community and space. Not just one group have this idea, but all groups have this same idea. Then the society of the United States can progress as a nation of people, not a nation of divided. Wow. Great words. Lisa, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
You know, Ken, it's funny how you go back down memory lane and you look at my mother and my father, what racism they went through. And it did not, have I experienced it?
You may have and didn't even know you did.
Yeah, well, I would stop it before it started. And then I have a look that, FAFO look, or I'm about to cut you right now. So that's that I don't say anything. And they back off. And this is throughout my travels in the United States. So I did not go through it. I didn't really go through it. But I would like to make a subject that you guys just talked about abortion. I don't believe in abortion. No,
okay, we're not going to turn this into an abortion show. Yeah. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not.
I don't even vote. I don't vote. Yeah, I don't vote.
Well, that I got a problem with. That I got a problem with. Yeah, no. I totally agree. If you decide not to vote, that's fine. But you made a decision not to vote.
Right.
You just didn't just never even engage. You made a conscious decision. Okay.
Well, it was my first person I ever voted for was Clinton, and after that, I just did not vote.
Okay.
Because it's like a pit to pat.
Now black folks would rip your heart out for saying that in public. You know that.
I don't care what black. I don't care what black. Like Sherwood does. But you cannot tell me why you're voting. You just voting because the person black.
Right. Or you're voting because they're Democrat, or you're voting because they're Republican.
Right.
Like I don't. That's not a good enough reason.
It starts from the very bottom, from your superintendent and all that. It's not. You just don't put a person. In school they taught us when you vote for the president. No, you're not. Come on. No, you're not. That's what they used to teach us in school.
Who are you voting for then? Who you voting for?
I don't vote. I had told Sherwin, because first of all, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. Okay.
Watch this.
And we don't vote.
Watch this. I'm sorry.
We don't vote. What?
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, don't be sorry.
I get to poke you the same way I poke everybody.
We're not in man's confusion. Man is nothing but about confusion. He's about confusion. He's confused. Look at your president now. He's confused. Why would you put someone that totally violates the Constitution and everything else, but you got him in the White House? Make it make sense, people.
I would argue, but I'm not gonna go down the abortion road, and I'm not going down the Jehovah's Witness road. I'm gonna let that go.
Okay, all right, but I told Sherwin, I don't know. It depends. I might rah-rah. It goes again, but again, I might vote Republican, maybe, But if Gavin come out, I just probably do vote for him because look at California.
You're gonna pick the worst. You're gonna pick the worst governor in the entire state. Democrats don't even like that dude. He has destroyed California. Anyway, let me go because you're trying to get me all popped off now. See, Lisa? See what you did, Lisa?
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Love you, kid.
All right, love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
She tried. I'm going to squeeze Winky Blue in before I go to break because Winky always complains that I cut him off and I let white people talk before he does. So I'm going to just listen to what Winky Blue got to say about racism.
Well, am I, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, listen, I've been listening to the conversation, and black people can be accused of being racist, and black people can be racist. As a matter of fact, you're talking to a racist right now. But I work every day with white folks. I had a buddy, Jerome O'Leary. He was a police officer over at the 3rd District. I mean, not 3rd District, over there off Silver Spring.
Used to be. He retired. I've known Jerome for.
Yeah, he was given that to because they said he was making waves over there as a lieutenant, and they kind of give him an ultimatum to step down, to resign. They did the same thing with Chief Arthur Jones. And he come over to my uncle's church, got all the churches together, and I guess it was a shock back for him to reality that he was still a part. But I never had any problem with Jones because Verdell always was able to get me, make things happen for me through that chief. So I'm gonna tell you like this here, man. We can be racist, but we can also be called racist when we're elevating our people.
Correct.
White people elevate their people all the time.
Correct.
And there's no problem with that.
You are 100% right. When they do it, it's the most qualified person. When you do it, you're being racist and you're only picking the person that's black because they're black.
And we can say that they're only doing it because it's white, and it's true, but it's overlooked. It's not challenged. It's not looked into. I mean, you go down there you can take the internal affairs as far as the police department. They're not gonna accept that. They're just gonna look over that and keep it moving. But we got a way of hey man, listen to this here. It's black folk. black folk is in this mess by themselves, okay? If you got any allies, any friends, you know, especially if you move around and do things the proper way, you know, and you really want to make a change in your neighborhood or just in society, you'll be looked up as a sellout.
Right.
You know, let's be realistic. Most people,
you'll get called a Republican. Yeah.
Well, it's all right for them to call me Republican because I'm gonna be honest with you. When I sit down at the table with people that are Democrats, and I'm a Republican, I've been a Democrat too. But when I sit down, and I have, as a matter of fact, though, but I come from a third generation.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hurry you up because I'm running behind.
Okay, well, anyway, right. All the preliminary, we don't need it. But listen to this here, man. When it comes down to this, black folk can be racist.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I am, because I want the best for my people, okay? And my friend wants the best for his people. And we go fishing. We go do everything together. But guess what? Okay, I got to go, man. I'll see you later. Every time I'm saying something.
No, I didn't hang up on him. You see both my hands on YouTube. They right here.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
Be careful of the decisions that you make and the company that you keep, because that is going to determine a certain consequence. So you don't have to wait to go to prison, or you don't have to wait to figure it out what the consequences may be. All you got to do is look at your decision making and who you allow in your space. If they making wild decisions, wild things don't happen. But you don't get to choose what wild things are going to happen.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This summer, make 3rd Street Market Hall your one-stop, must-stop destination to eat, drink, and play. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 15 locally owned food vendors, a self-serve beer wall featuring 30 Wisconsin breweries, over 50 HD TVs, and happy hour specials all week. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your home away from home or office. Visit 3rdstreetmarkethall.com for menus, events, and more information.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. It all started with a new invention in 1925, the roll screen. The ability to roll a window screen up and down like a shade. Pella invested in this breakthrough when the business was born in Pella, Iowa, and has introduced the world to innovation, game-changing decisions ever since. They've been at it for a century. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, and always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Investing in new Pella windows and doors creates long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years. There's no reason to wait, because if you order by August 31st, get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Certain restrictions apply. Yes, that's up to 5 years with no interest payments, so don't miss out. Visit PellaWI.com today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Join us again. I'm telling you again, you got to be there. 3rd Annual Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 23rd at 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. That's tomorrow at Riverside University High School. Admission is absolutely free. Great place to eat, stuff your face, celebrate, see your friends and family. Also, on top of all that, you can enjoy some great music and amazing food. So make sure you save the date. But you really don't have to, because it's tomorrow. 3rd Annual Truth Family Fest, Saturday, August 23rd, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., Riverside University High School. Be there or be square. right? Be there or be square. 833-212-1017 is the number. Daniel said we all worship the same God, but these things I'm talking about are very far-fetched and seem impossible, but who knows? Maybe they aren't. The politics war will change through the unity idea as well. We shall see. We shall see. Talking text line says, Dr. Ken, you come from one of the most beautiful cities in the world, Chicago, especially with the towering skyscrapers like the Willis Tower, Amoco Oil Building, and John Hancock Tower. That's true. That's true. That is true. Interesting. Dimitri say, but Dr. Ken, abortion is a central issue of being Republican, or rather pro-life. I don't think so. I don't know. They say black people can be racist for the simple fact that we're racist against each other, especially when we see each other on the street. I don't even know what that's about, but we're going to find out. Hey, y'all, top 5 at 5 up next.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this.
Congratulations. Woo!
God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Aww.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this.
Congratulations. Woo!
God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Aww.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
At Educators Credit Union, our members are our purpose. As a credit union, we're more than a financial. We're people helping people. We aren't concerned about profits or the bottom line of shareholders, because our greatest reward is you achieving your financial dreams through lower rates, free financial resources, and award-winning member service. Experience more heart and less hassle by making the switch today. Achieve more at ECU.com. Educators Credit Union. Achieving more together. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required.
We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at makingstrideswalk.milwaukeewi.org.
The biggest snowflakes out here are always been the white Republicans, who are so gung-ho on protecting the feelings of white kids while they ignore the needs of other kids. If Milwaukee's youth has a problem with fighting, well, white youth have a problem with being destructive and offensive. So it is sad that our government is actively working to de-emphasize educating and uplifting students of color in different backgrounds on college campuses. That emphasis is going to be diminished, and the only kids that will suffer will be our kids. They were willing to hold up the advancement of the state of Wisconsin because they disagree with DEI. What are white Republicans afraid of? Why are they afraid to face the fact that their grandmas and grandpapas were part of a system which purposely held black folks back and failed to give us the access that we deserve? Until these politicians stop ignoring these egregious acts of hate and racial incidents, America can never be great again.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Milwaukee Public School parents will finally be able to see where their child's bus is on the way and to coming home from school. MPS Senior Director of Business and Transportation Services, David Fife-Ferrick, talks about the new app.
This parent app basically gives real-time information to families on their particular students' bus information as the bus is coming. And so it really, especially in Milwaukee where you get a ton of inclement weather patterns, we are excited to kind of give them a new and more efficient offering.
Fife-Ferrick says MPS parents can find the Where's My Bus application through their campus parent account. A mother and her boyfriend get maximum sentences for child sex trafficking in Fond du Lac. Elia Antonio will spend 34 years behind bars for trafficking her own 12-year-old daughter. Juan Rocha Mea will spend 40 years behind bars for sexually assaulting the child in exchange for paying Antonio money. Prosecutors said Maya blindfolded and suffocated the 12-year-old in the back of a van before she escaped to a nearby home in 2024. Southwest Airlines is adding new flight destinations from Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Non-stop service from Milwaukee to San Diego will begin October 2nd, and 2 daily flights to Chicago's Midway Airport will start in March next year. The airline is also expanding its non-stop service to Austin, Texas, and adding new spring break flights to Miami. These are changes following Southwest's recent decision to roll back several popular perks like the free checked bags and the ability to pick your own seat, and a downturn in overall travel from Milwaukee Mitchell. Milwaukee's airport served about 280,000 fewer passengers through the first half of 2025 than the same period last year. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's crazy. It's Pop-Up Friday. 833-212-1017 is the number. We've been talking about racism and whether or not black people can be racist and how do we know other people are racist, and y'all blowing up the YouTube chat and all that and back and forth, and Al is on the chat tripping, and yeah. That made you say black people can't be racist for the simple fact that we were racist toward each other. And then Al said, I don't worship God at all. He ain't no good. His work is based on contingencies. I don't like that. Where I come from, that's called a matter of convenience. People like that can rot. Oh, so as a Christian, I can rot. Okay, I got it now. LaRon said the former John Hancock Center in Chicago, he was talking about the tilt. You know, you can lean out and see down, and it freaks people out because I don't like heights. So, yes, I've been to the observatory on like the 94th or 98th floor, whatever that is, but I ain't doing that. Al said, didn't God kill more people in the Bible than the devil, though? And then he said, like, he has all these things that he uses. I guess he forgets all the other stuff that's in it. He only picked the stuff that's germane to his argument. He says, so how's the devil the villain, then yet God bragged to the devil that's beneath you, wickedness on the innocent? I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. And then I said, hey, Al, you be hating on God. And he said, who's hating, though? Dr. Ken, he said, you brag to someone supposedly that beneath you, that weakness, and brag about weakness on the innocent, not God, the devil. Okay, I don't understand what that means. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real said, black people racist, LOL, that's a joke. Go back and listen to the rest of the show. Go back and listen from the beginning, and then go back and listen to the second segment and the third one, and you'll kind of get it. Because when you jump in and you at the end of something, yeah. Anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Sir John said a lot of black folks was raised to vote for nothing but Democrats. He spelled it in a different way. Dan said, all I was saying, doctor, is our emotions first thought process is due to trauma from the past. I have to completely and totally disagree with you. So when people become emotional, it's because of trauma? When I become emotional, it's not because of trauma. I become emotional because we are emotional beings and emotional creatures, and it's the first thing that rises up in us before we do anything. We may not show it. We may not respond in a way that's emotional, but some things can get us, aroused, get us mad, get us happy, get us sad. I mean, that's just life. I don't know if I would blame it on trauma, because that sounds like an excuse. This gnat is driving me crazy. It sounds like an excuse. Dan said, great show. I'll keep listening, and you take care. From me to you. Don't have to read this, though. LOL. Thanks. Well, now why'd you write it? Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Interesting days. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
Speaking of numbers, from Oconto, Wisconsin, WISN.com, Wisconsin health officials have confirmed 5 new measles cases in Oconto County, bringing the total to 14 in an ongoing outbreak. Wisconsin Department of Health Services and Oconto County Public Health, that's up north, announced additional cases today, all linked to the 9 cases that were previously reported August 2nd. In the majority of the Wisconsin cases, state health officials revealed that the patients are unvaccinated individuals ranging in ages 7 months to 53 years old. DHS officials said the ongoing investigation indicates that measles is spreading locally. Well, I don't know, but what does that mean for Milwaukee?
News here at 4 o'clock. State health officials are confirming 5 additional measles cases in Oconto County. Earlier this month, 12 News learned of 9 cases tied to one family that had traveled out of the state. The 5 new cases bring that total to 14 here in Wisconsin. Patients range in age from 7 months old to 53 years old, and they are all linked to the initial 9 cases. Late this afternoon, state health officials told us most of the Wisconsin cases are on unvaccinated people.
If someone is in an indoor space with measles and leaves, the virus remains suspended in the air for up to 2 hours, and someone who is not protected, if they come in during that time period, can contract measles. So there doesn't need to be a face-to-face opportunity for infection.
Again, measles is highly contagious for anyone who does not have a measles vaccine. Children are required to have the measles, mumps, rubella, or the MMR vaccine before entering school. There are free vaccines available for the uninsured. Click on this story in our app for a link to free clinics here in Milwaukee.
And so there are ways to not get it. But the thing that struck me was this. 2 hours after the person is gone, you can get it. So think about being on an airplane and somebody sitting there has the measles. They leave, get on a flight. The next flight comes in. Within an hour, you're sitting there about to board. You got to board a half hour early and all that. And you still can catch the measles from somebody. So then what do? And that's up north, but you know what happens, right? When the white community catches a cold, black people get the flu. How many black kids in Milwaukee are not vaccinated with the MMR vaccine? How many of us stay away from doctors because we don't like them, or our grandparents or parents said something negative, or we're remembering the Tuskegee experiment? We're remembering Vieques down in Puerto Rico, what they did to Puerto Rican men and women. You know, I mean, all those things. Historically, we have issues like that. And we have to get to the bottom of what we're going to do. Because if it's in El Canto, remember, this is how COVID started, right? A little small, 1 or 2 people, then 3, then 5. Who's always out and who's working in public service industry? Majority, minority people work in those industries. So who's going to catch it? I'm telling you, I have only been to 1 hotel in the past year. I've been to a lot of hotels. Like, I'm almost afraid to say it. At 1 hotel chain, I'm gold elite. The only thing above gold elite is platinum. That means that basically when you go, you rarely pay for your room because you got enough points, right? I'm gold elite. I've been to 1 hotel chain in another city where the manager that I had to talk to was black. All the people working at the desks are black or Hispanic, male and female, and their manager was always white. Every single time. I find it amazing that we work in customer service areas, but we don't run customer service areas, with the exception of this 1 place I went to in Pittsburgh. 1. Everywhere I go, every hotel I've been to, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I find that amazing. So we know it's going to spread. We know it's going to spread in our community because our community is the ones that are out there working those starter jobs, working those $30,000, $40,000 a year jobs, $20,000, $30,000 a year jobs at hotels, in food service, cleaning. And whether or not you got gloves on, irrelevant. Because it lingers in the air. And if it lingers in the air, they've been gone for 2 hours. And you go in and you think you're safe and you're not. And then you take it home to your kid. You take it home to grandma or grandpa or mom or dad. And now they have it. That's what scares me.
Number 4.
From WISN.com, a 9-year-old accidentally shot themselves with a gun that belonged to a member of the Kenosha Police Department on August 19th, a few days ago. That's according to Kenosha County Sheriff's Office. It happened at the Kenosha Police Department member's home, but the Sheriff's Office did not say exactly where it happened. The Sheriff's Office said the 9-year-old got a hold of the gun after accessing a locked gun safe. The gun accidentally discharged, striking the 9-year-old in the hand. The Sheriff's Office described the 9-year-old's injury as minor, and the gun was not the Kenosha Police Department member's duty firearm. The Sheriff's Office did not reveal any other information about the 9-year-old at this time, which I'm glad because they're a minor, and the shooting is still being investigated as well. That's according to the Sheriff's Office. Now, before people go off screaming and hollering, Dr. K's going to take the cop side, and somebody need to look at the box. Because if I got a locked gun safe, see, here's what people miss. Children are smart. Children are smart. I remember one day my daughter decided when she was about 4 years old to walk outside while I was working in the back of the house. And I heard the door close. And I went, I thought the door was latched. Why did it close? And I got up and I started walking toward the door. and I didn't see her, and I heard ding, ding. She got locked out the house, couldn't open the door, and rang the doorbell to get back in. 5 years old. Children watch what you do. Children watch when you go places and you go to somebody's house and you ring the doorbell. She literally rang the doorbell. And I thought that was the smartest thing in the world. But if you're a kid and you're a cop and you come home every day and you lock your gun in the safe and they see how you lock it or where you put the key or what the combination is, guess what? That's all I'm saying. So before you beat this person up, we need to beat the person up on, you need to put your gun safe in a place where the kid doesn't have access to it, and you need to put it in a place where nobody can see it when you access it. Otherwise, stuff like this will continue to happen.
Number 3.
From Fox6Now.com, it's a flood update. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson and Department of Public Works Commissioner Jerry Kruski provided an update today on the city's ongoing flood recovery efforts. Officials say tax dollars are helping to pay for the cleanup from the taxpayers' money, but they are stretched thin and need federal help. And now FEMA is here. News conference this morning was held at the North Drop-Off Center at 6660 North Industrial Road. Officials noted that crews have been working steadily to address damage and assist residents with cleanup. Local governments are spending a lot of money on overtime. Officials with Milwaukee's DPW estimate the extra costs are between $20,000 and $60,000 a day. The city's two garbage drop centers have been swamped. Officials, I keep getting it wrong. Officials said more than 14,000 vehicles have passed through the centers, and city crews have picked up bulk items at thousands of homes. Mayor Cavalier Johnson said FEMA representatives have been here. They've been conducting the first review of some of the damage here. It's part of the process as we seek our disaster designation. Ultimately, the disaster declaration is not a decision that we can make. Those of us who are here, that is going to be determined exclusively by the President of the United States. He makes the final decision on that. And so county executive and the county's 19 mayors and village presidents wrote to FEMA, and they urged them to act quickly. They say local governments are estimated to spend millions of dollars to clean up the mess. I saw some video, and I sent it to somebody the other day from 60th and Silver Spring. They were saying some people this afternoon, I was talking to Tory Lowe before he left. He's headed up to Hampton, where people are in the street and waiting. And I said, you're going to have to be patient. Like, I don't know what the square mileage is of the city, but it's big. Of the county, but it's big. And there are literally over 1 million people in the county, in all of Milwaukee County. That's a lot of people that got a lot of damage. And they're not going to get to everybody instantaneously. I know you want them to get to you first, but they can't. Some of the worst hit houses are on the north side of Milwaukee, south side of Milwaukee, depending on how your house was built, depending on your basement, all that stuff. And so they've got to go from house to house. They've got to go from house to house. So it's interesting. I hope they get help as fast as possible.
Number 2.
From CNN.com, I don't know if you heard, but the Justice Department has released a transcript of the interview that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche conducted with Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine. Is it Ghislaine, whatever her name, Ghislaine Maxwell? Anyway, they got a full transcript online. The Justice Department gave her limited immunity so that she could discuss her criminal case, but didn't promise any other benefits in exchange for testimony. So she's not going to get a nice cell, even though rumor has it online that she did get a, minimum security prison and all that kind of stuff. In the transcript, Maxwell says she never witnessed anything untoward in Donald Trump's friendship with Epstein and never heard of any allegations that he acted inappropriately. Shortly before the release, Trump told reporters that he supported transparency in the case. Meanwhile, the House Oversight Committee has received the first batch of records related to Epstein from the Justice Department, and they contain thousands of pages of documents. That's what a spokesperson said this afternoon. However, she said there's no list. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll follow up and we'll keep a watch on it. By the way, the National Guard might be headed to a city near you.
Number 1.
This also from CNN Politics. President Donald Trump said today that Chicago will be the next city that his administration targets for a federal crackdown on crime and suggested a longer and more intense campaign in the nation's capital. Trump said from the Oval Office, we'll straighten that one out probably next. That will be our next one after this. I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help New York. The president has credited his federal takeover of Washington, D.C.'s police force and deployment of National Guard there with driving down crime in the city, touting a week-long stretch without any murders as a miracle, despite the fact that such weeks have occurred in D.C. multiple times so far this year. He said he could keep National Guard members in the city as long as I want by declaring a national emergency, a prospect likely to unnerve city residents. More than 1,900 National Guard troops from multiple states, including D.C., West Virginia, South Carolina, Mississippi, Ohio, Louisiana, and Tennessee guards have been mobilized in D.C. as of yesterday. Now, here's the other side of that story that CNN is not reporting. People in D.C. are not protesting the National Guard. They had about 100 people show up. Many of those people didn't live in D.C., and they're protesting. 100 people. The question is, after Chicago and New York, are they coming to Milwaukee? We've had a homicide pretty much every day. At least one a week. There's no complaining here. There's no fighting here. There's no screaming here. There's no, oh my gosh, I'm upset. People are dying. There are no protests here. So if the National Guard shows up and crime goes down and homicides and carjackings and car thefts and speeding and fights and drunken disorderly, could you argue? Could you argue? Is that something that we are going to eventually need? Because I'm sure we're on the radar because the president has already called Milwaukee. You know, he's already trashed the city. If we don't get a grip, somebody else is going to come in and do it for us. And we may not like that. We may not like National Guard coming in or the president coming in and bringing in people to do things, quite possibly armed, and may shoot people because they're not trained in urban welfare. Notice I say welfare, not warfare. They're not trained to serve and protect. They're trained to kill. That's what the military does. Now, National Guard is a little different because the National Guard comes from the local area. They're your local helpers to the governor. But there are some people here that are arguing, we need help. Cops are short. What do we do? What exactly do we do? How do we help this city become a vibrant city the way it once was a mere 20, 30 years ago? How do we do that? And if the only argument you have, Dimitri, is that he's trash himself, that's not an answer. Calling somebody out of their name is not the answer. It doesn't matter if it's part of the Insurrection Act or all this other stuff or Project 2025. The city of Milwaukee needs to figure out what they're going to do to stop the crime. Because if we don't, he's going to come take over the city. He's going to send a National Guard. And then what? What are you going to do then? If you complained about the city the way you complain about Trump, we would have one of the best cities in the country, if not the world. And with all due respect, Dimitri, did he disrespect the city? There are shootings here. There's crime here. And ain't nobody doing a thing about it. We got more love when it flooded than we did with somebody getting shot, abducted, killed, run over, killed in a car accident, run over as a pedestrian. But it took flooding for somebody to wake up and say, we're going to help people. So you won't help me when somebody dies, but you'll help me if my basement is flooded. You tell me who cares about your life more.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The expression on your face, that's got to me. And the man wasn't lying.
What you mean the expression on my face? How can you see my face? You listening to me on the radio, man.
No, I'm watching you on YouTube, too.
Oh, all right, then. You're an old man, and you know about YouTube. How old are you, Adam? You about 85.
83.
I'll be dipped. How blessed are we to have you.
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
That's me snapping the fingers. That's what I got paid for. 833-212-1017 is them. That's about all. If I'm really good at an instrument, I'm probably like the best mediocre person you ever heard. Like, seriously. Saxophone, clarinet, and flute. And that's only because it's the same fingering, right? A, B, C, D. So it's easy to play, right? No. I sing better than I do anything else. That I admit. That's that. If there's anything I can do, I can sing. After that, you don't want me playing like piano, and you don't want me. I can't even play chopsticks. And I think it's like dun 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 dun. Like you put your fingers out and then in. I can't even do that. I can't do that. What's the one thing you can do that that very few people can do? Like if you're in a group of 10 people, each one of those people should be able to do something that nobody else can do.
Touch my toes.
Well, I can touch my toes, but most people can't. That's true. That's true. That is true. You can touch your toes. Most people can't. That's true. That is true. You know what I can do? Like if you gave me an umbrella or a baseball bat or something, I can balance it on my finger. It's the weirdest thing. Watch this. That's a bored kid who's got nothing else to do but balance stuff on their finger. Like that's how bored I was because I had a mother and 2 sisters and I didn't play with them because they were girls. I was always by myself. I think that's why I like being by myself now. I think that's why. Because I'm going to tell you. Nah, I'm going to get myself in trouble, so I'm not going to say that. Fellas, y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. 833-212-1017 is the number. Daniel said, on air, I mean. I read it. Fonz, first of all, don't say why somebody does something when you don't know that person. Don't use your experience on somebody else. Like, don't say, Rhea don't like such and such because, and you didn't ask Rhea. Like, that makes no sense. Like, people that do that make no sense. So when you say you heard somebody say something and then you say, oh, they don't like that because you have no idea. You didn't even ask them. Like, why don't you like that? Don't do that to people because when you use your experience for other people, it can be kind of belittling. Well, I don't know if that's the word. It can be kind of like demeaning because you don't know someone else's experience at all. At all. 833-212-1017 is the number. Daniel said, you've been mentioning this vocal talent you have all week in particular, unless you're a little pace, saying something for your people, just a little bit of something. Go ahead. Oh, you want me to sing something? You want me to sing something? I'll sing next week. I got a short week next week because it's Labor Day coming up, and I'll sing next week. But what do you want me to sing? Want me to sing some Luther? Rhea shaking her head. Yeah, I want to hear. But she wasn't shaking her head like, yeah, I want to hear Luther. She was shaking her head like, yeah, I want to hear Luther. You know what I'm saying? A little different. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I'm saying for y'all one day, then y'all going to leave me alone. Y'all going to be giving me praise. Well, you're not, but Dan said this week in particular, give me a little taste and sing something. Nah, we're not going to sing this week. We're going to sing next week. I need to be rested up. You know, school starts next week. Everything starts getting twice as busy, right? And I'll forget, and somebody will say, hey, sing something. And then I'll start singing, and I'll be like, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. Catch me off guard. I know y'all trying to do that. That's all right. That's all right. I know that's how y'all treat me. I know that's how you treat me. Demetri said, very true. You're absolutely right, doctor. Auto-tune. You can't auto-tune on the radio, dude. Come on now. I'm sitting right here. If you turn on YouTube and I'm sitting right here and I'm singing, how could you possibly say I'm auto-tuning? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Demetri said, are you for the National Guard coming here? If we keep shooting and killing people the way we are, yes, I am. Put them in certain places where there are problems, where there are issues, people that run red lights, places where we have crashes all the time, businesses that are getting broken into, like that knucklehead that broke into 8 or 9 businesses along Wisconsin Avenue over by 27th Street. Patrol the neighborhoods. Absolutely. Because if you shoot at them, they're going to shoot back. If you try to kill them, they're going to kill you. Now, here's what I do know. It's not going to come to that. I'm not saying it's not going to come to that National Guard. It's not going to come to that where the National Guard act like that. All we need is a presence. Remember how your parents used to just look at you and you'd be like, okay, I'm sorry. And well, wait a minute, I didn't do anything wrong. That kind. We need people in uniform to stand there and tell people, act like you got some sense. And this isn't a Milwaukee problem or a black problem. This is a human being problem. Because there's some white folks that act the fool too every day on welfare. Poorer than us, some of us. So we know that already. The bottom line is, how can we get people to stop acting a fool and stop doing things that they're not supposed to do? That's all. It's kind of simple. It's kind of easy. But most people won't do that. Most people won't do that. 833-212-1017 is the number. This gnat is going to drive me up a wall. I went to drink my water one day, and the gnat got in my water. I was like, if I needed some protein, I would have just drank it, but I didn't need no protein that day. I was like, no, absolutely not. 833-212-1017 is the number. Story from News One. Yeah, so if you are alumni of Howard University, I wonder, is Howard in trouble? Like, I'm kind of wondering, is Howard University in trouble? President Ben Vinson III, PhD, has announced that he will step down from his role as the university's 18th president on August 31st. The said announcement was made this morning during a meeting with faculty and staff. Comes just 2 years into his tenure and only days into the start of the new academic year at the historic institution in Washington, D.C. Vinson, who's been serving in the role since September 2023, guided Howard through a period of growth marked by increased enrollment, new donations, and expanded academic ambitions felt by students both on and off campus. In a statement reflecting on his presidency, Vinson highlighted his focus on emerging fields and global connections, writing, and he wrote this long, thing. Sharing the reason behind his decision, Vinson added that his decision to step down was motivated by his desire to spend time with his family, continue his research activities. Or, right, I'm using my experience, right? Or I'm doing what I wasn't supposed to do. He wasn't making enough money. At this point, I will be taking some time to be with my family, continue my research activities. I look forward to using my experiences as president to continue to serve higher education in the future. Or he got a job offer that was too good to refuse. He was like, yeah, I'm rolling out. So the board of trustees and the university leadership now have to find a new president. Interesting. So wait a minute. Did I miss something? Okay. To ensure continuity, the board has appointed Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, president emeritus, and the university's 17th president as the interim leader beginning September 1st. He's a triple alumnus and served as interim president in 2013 before being permanent from 2014 to 2023. His presidency saw historic fundraising activities that strengthened the university's endowment, expanded scholarship support, and modernized academic curricula and facilities. Hale described his return as providing stability, continuity, and continued progress. Isn't it wonderful how people say all these pretty things about stuff, and then when it ain't pretty, they the same people that turn on you? But that's why I always say, one thing you got to always remember, when 51% of the people that are for you turn into the 51% of the people that are against you, you're done. And now with 1017 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
We still have problems on 894 westbound, just past 27th Street, off on the left shoulder. It is a crash, so watch out for the delays heading past that scene. On the eastbound side of 894, on the off-ramp to 76th Street or 84th Street, we do have that ramp closed. There was a vehicle fire. They were able to put it out and everything, but they've got a tow truck there now, so hopefully it'll be out of there pretty soon. Delays, though, unfortunately stretching all the way back to National Avenue on the southbound side. Eastbound 94, we've got big delays from Highway 100 100 through the zoo all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard, where there is an accident with the right shoulder block now. It was in the center lane. They were able to move it off to the right, but still, we got those delays. On the westbound side, delays from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then we've got another crash on 41 southbound to Appleton Avenue. That ramp there, off on the right shoulder, we got a crash there. 41 southbound itself is backed up all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, a slight chance for a shower or isolated thunderstorm. Mostly cloudy otherwise, a low of 66. Tomorrow, slight chance for showers early in the morning, then mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 78. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
If better sleep has been hard to come by, you're not alone, and the right mattress can make all the difference. That's why Helix Sleep and Steinhafels have teamed up to bring their award-winning mattresses to Steinhafels. Now you can try Helix in person, something you can't do just anywhere. Right now, Steinhafels is offering 20% off all Helix mattress orders just for our listeners. Head to steinhafels.com to learn more. Helix Sleep at Steinhafels. Better sleep starts now.
Marquette University High School football lives here. Catch all the action of Hilltoppers football on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Tune in this Friday night as the Hilltoppers kick off their 2025 season hosting the Arrowhead Warhawks. Join our coverage starting at 6:30 p.m., leading up to kickoff at 7 p.m. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.J. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Berghardt Sporting Goods.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
You ever notice how the phrase 9 to 5 sounds just so old school? That's because in 2025, the 9 to 5 is as outdated as a rotary phone. Let's be real. The world has changed, and the way we work has changed with it. The gig economy is booming. Folks are making money on their own terms, driving Ubers, delivering DoorDash, freelancing, and side hustling their way to the bag. And then there's the work-from-home revolution. People are clocking in from their kitchen tables, their favorite coffee shops, or even the beach. Laptops open, pajamas on, productivity up. The virtual office is now the new corner office, and the only commute is from the bed to the desk. Let's not forget about the digital nomads, those bold souls who turn the world into their workplace. They're sending emails from Bali, closing deals in Barcelona, and living life on their own schedule. No time clock, no cubicle, just Wi-Fi and a dream. And 21st century entrepreneurship, well, it's a whole new game. You can launch a business from your phone, build a brand on Instagram, and make more in a week than some folks do in a month without even punching a clock. So who's still working that old 9 to 5 job? People who are resistant to change or maybe just can't adapt. The future belongs to the flexible, the creative, the hustlers who know how to make technology work for them. The 9 to 5, well, that's a museum piece. The real action is happening outside the box, where freedom and opportunity are just a click away.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. After losing 3 straight in their 5-game series, the Brewers win their final game against the Cubs at Wrigley Field.
Fly ball into right center of base hit. That will score Monasterio. Frelick coming around third. He will score. Collins comes up in the clutch. And the Brewers lead it 4-1.
The Crew becomes the first team to hit 80 wins, sitting atop the MLB at 80 and 48. The Crew also sits atop the NL Central ahead of the Cubs by 7 games. Their next series against the Giants begins tonight at 7:10. The Packers are gearing up for their final preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks at Lambeau. That game takes place on Saturday at 3 p.m. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We got about 16 more minutes. We got an hour of Tory Lowe and then Hilltopper football. They're playing Arrowhead. So either it's going to be a group of people in Milwaukee area that's going to be happy, and it's going to be a group of people in Milwaukee that's not going to be happy. Hopefully it'll be a Waukesha County group of people that's not happy, because I'm, of course, supporting the Hilltoppers. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. CNN is reporting that FAA is warning of an uptick of lithium batteries aboard planes. I remember once I was on a plane and I had one of those little small batteries. And when I touched it, it was smoking hot. I guess because of the altitude and all that. But yeah, oh well. I guess we'll just have to be careful. Speaking of being careful, from Blavity.com, U.S. State Department has revoked over 6,000 international student visas, citing law violations like assault, driving under the influence, burglary, and support for terrorism. News comes amid the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration and student protests in support of Palestine. The department told the BBC that 4,000 out of 6,000 student visas were revoked due to violation of U.S. law and overstays. About 200 to 300 visas are revoked for terrorism done under INA 3B, which refers to the endangerment of human life or activity in violation of the law. U.S. State Department did not detail specifics about what it was referring to as terrorism. So how is this going to affect universities? International student enrollment has been declining. Over 1.1 million international students hailing from more than 210 companies were enrolled in higher education institutions between 2023 and 2024 school year. In May, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that thousands of student visas have been revoked since the beginning of the year. He said, I don't know the latest count, but we probably have more to do. We're going to continue to revoke the visas of people who are here as guests and are disrupting our higher education facilities. Well, I don't know if that's true. In 2024, 400,000 student visas were issued by the U.S. State Department. CNN reported this number may decline by 30 to 40%. Such an outcome would deprive local economies of about $7 billion in spending and more than 60,000 jobs. And without significant recovery in the visa issuance in July and August, up to 150,000 fewer students may arrive this fall. What impact is that going to have on universities? They may only let people in who can pay. They may only let people in who can prove that they can pay. That'll be interesting. I don't know how many HBCUs have international students. I would go out on a limb and say it's not as many as most state schools and some other PWI white schools. That means predominantly white institution. Many as they have, but it's gonna be intense because, you know, people have built entire infrastructures around international students and dealing with visas and permits and all that stuff, and working with, you know, Higher Learning Commission and all the regional accreditors, and now they're not there. And if they're not there, how do you replace the revenue that you made from international students unless you raise your tuition? And we've already got issues everywhere with tuition getting higher. Now, personally, even though I work in higher education, sometimes I don't really understand why tuition has to go up like that. Like, there needs to be another mechanism. There needs to be another model of higher education, or just education, public, private, parochial, whatever, period. There needs to be another model, or make the model better so that we can, you know, get it together. Because I think education is just going to get more and more expensive to where scholarships can't cover it anymore. And if scholarships can't cover it, a lot of kids can't go to school. And if a lot of kids can't go to school, you can't grow up and be like me. No, I'm just kidding. You can't become what you want to be and have a career and all those things. So it's a scary future.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ride the wave to clean at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for a winning shine. Become a monthly member and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 per day. Plus, skip the wait in the fast lane and enjoy unbeatable amenities like free vacuums and tire air. Visit any of their convenient locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. It all started with a new invention in 1925, the roll screen. The ability to roll a window screen up and down like a shade. Pella invested in this breakthrough when the business was born in Pella, Iowa, and has introduced the world to innovation, game-changing decisions ever since. They've been at it for a century. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home and always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Investing in new Pella windows and doors creates long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years. There's no reason to wait because if you order by August 31st, get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Certain restrictions apply. Yes, that's up to 5 years with no interest payments, so don't miss out. Visit PellaWI.com today. Hey, Truth Nation, now is your chance to be our One Call That's All 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered in to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number 3 at 833-212-1017. You'll be entered in to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, caller number 3 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if your loved one has ever been injured in an accident, call Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com. 833-212-1017 for official contest rules. Visit 1017thetruth.com. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. Make sure you download the app so you can listen to the rebroadcast all weekend long and join us again on Monday. I'll be back at 4 o'clock Central for the best in Milwaukee Black Talk. God bless. Take care. Thank you, Rhea. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Be safe. God bless. I'm out.